Hi, I'm Levi with Gaiety.
Hi,
Hello.
Levi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
I was in your press conference this morning, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jaden, I'm gonna start with you. Cece's bond with Devin is kind of central in this story, and her determination is really key to kind of unraveling the mystery, if you will, without, I don't know, spoilers, but how do you think Cece's strength and ability to challenge the status quo reflects the journeys of young people today? Because I think Goosebumps is doing a really good job of reimagining how young people are, particularly in horror franchises.
Mhm.
So I'm really curious also how you think the LGBTQ plus community will receive her.
Oh my goodness, this is an incredible question, and I'm very, very excited. I think one of the reasons why I'm very in love with this series and this season is because of the very unique characters we have, and we have characters that have certain character traits and also hobbies or maybe interests that people might think are contradictory, but aren't. You know, humans are very unique and multifaceted. And I think one of the things I love about Cece is she is this stereotypical A+ perfect student, but there are things about her that people maybe wouldn't put with that stereotype. And I love Cece because she breaks those bounds and she really doesn't even think twice about them. Um, I don't want to give any spoilers, but Cece is finding her own path and what she wants and likes in life throughout this season. And I think I know I personally related to her journey, and I think a lot of other people will. And I'm really, really happy for that. Thank you for that question. That meant a lot.
Yeah. And Sam, kind of along the same lines, your character's relationship with his family is pretty complex. I think a lot of younger viewers will be able to resonate with that in itself. But how do you think that audiences who are dealing with their own personal identity struggles will connect with Devin?
Yeah. I think the idea of I grew up in a my parents were divorced, and I went back and forth growing up. And that can, you sometimes don't really know where you land or where your home base really is. Um and I think there's that, and I think, where you also see Devin at a point in his life when he doesn't necessarily have that stability of a rock at home, and he doesn't have in himself, he's getting to the point where he's getting ready to go out in the world, and he is starting to become a bit restless that, like, hey, maybe I don't have this solidity in myself either. And so I think we find him at a point where he, is beginning to go on a journey of finding that strength and that kind of oneness in a community and in himself. And that I think he embarks on without really realizing it.
Now, this question actually comes from the press conference, so I'm hoping you can kind of tell the story again. But you had this unique connection to Goosebumps that you actually brought up, that your mom did the audio for
Yeah.
Goosebumps. I guess they were audiobooks, right? And I remember listening to like A Night in Terror Tower because
Mhm.
they were audiobooks. What was that like then for you? I mean, that's like that's full circle, right? Like
Yeah, I
audio
guess
to the
so.
screen.
Yeah. Well, it was cool. I don't know. I remember I was talking to my mom about auditioning for this job, and she's like, "Oh my God, I narrated," and I was like, "Yeah, you did the stay out of the basement."
That's
Or
the
no, oh my
basement.
God.
The living
Night of
dummy.
the Living Dummy. I've made that
Which
bit.
is like the right. That's like the Goosebumps
I,
story that everyone
it might
That's
remembers.
be the
someone else is like
Goosebumps.
the best one, and
It
you're
might
like,
Flappy, right?
it
Yeah.
might be, yeah, it might be the Goosebumps. Which is I don't know, it's cool. It feels nice. It feels,
it
and
feels like a synchronicity.
yeah, and it feels at home, like, oh, it's in the family, you know what I mean?
I mean, I do feel like yours is better, but hers is good. You know, like for the time, like your Goosebumps is better, but that was still really good. um, so because obviously the books are very different, even though each episode kind of pulls on the Goosebumps stories, right? And you can kind of figure out which one is which if you are familiar with them, you know what books they are. Did you do research into what the stories used to be before jumping into what Goosebumps is now? And did that affect the way that you created your characters?
Yeah, I think for me, I definitely went back and researched what the original Goosebumps books were like. But I also think that this is a new adaptation, and it's going in a new direction, and it absolutely is bringing the monsters and the specific scares and haunts from those Goosebumps books. But I think that it wasn't like a mandatory to make it exactly like that. I think we wanted to explore a new route and new storylines and new topics that we could relate to, also because it's 2024, like the books were written quite a while ago, so the
Yeah.
times changed, so there's different things to be talked about. But yeah, I definitely went back and saw what Goosebumps was and now is, and I think it's just on an ever continuing changing an ever changing journey, and it's growing and morphing into something new. But the old scares will always be here and be here to stay.
And Sam, did you have a similar?
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, you get the job and then you like, okay, I'm gonna look into what this is about a little more. But on the other hand, Devin is a new character. And these stories, these monsters, they are these supernatural forces are, some of them are taken from the book and some of them they're all, I think they're all based on the book in certain ways.
Yeah.
But I'd say, at the end of the day, my job extended to on a result level, not on a process level, of doing my best to lift Devin off the page, I guess. And because he was new, I didn't find myself reading so many books because I found I before doing this, I was like, okay, I have to prepare. And then it's like, well, I think that kind of stress sometimes was not going to necessarily, it was going to become preparation for the sake of preparation that wasn't necessarily going to serve what we were going to do now.
Great answer. Thank you. Thank you very much, both of you, for your time. I really appreciate it. And I'm excited for everyone to see Goosebumps.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.